The United States government is one of the most shadowy institutions in the world, with black site programs and experiments being recounted back before the First World War. But with the advent of the Cold War, intelligence and scientific advancements became crucial to winning the competition. This is where NASA comes in. Like with most nations, the United States hid its growing space-based military capability behind its publicized space flights. Commercial and public satellite launches were used to secretly deploy military surveillance satellites, and the rocketry programs of multiple nations were more about demonstrating their global reach and intercontinental ballistic missile capability. It's no wonder then that NASA and the US military are closely linked. There have been rumors that aliens have made contact with us for several decades now, with the infamous Area 51 in Nevada being the focus of extraterrestrial research to convert this advanced tech into military capability. Since the 1947 Roswell incident, which many believe was an alien craft crashing to Earth, American advancements in numerous areas have seemed almost to appear out of nowhere. The sudden jump to supersonic aviation, the massive advances in material science, the digital and computational revolution. These are no doubt incredible accomplishments of humankind and a testament to the intelligence and creativity of our species, but some advances seem a little too sudden. Take the SR-71, for example, an aircraft so incredibly advanced that entirely new classes of materials had to be researched and developed just to withstand the friction and heat it would be going through. The speed at which it flew caused so much thermal expansion that in order to prevent the jet from popping mid-air at high speeds from the heat, the panels had to be intentionally too small, meaning fuel would leak constantly from the aircraft on the ground, and only once it got up to speed and heat would the frame of the aircraft expand to seal the gaps. The Blackbird was capable of controlled flight at Mach 3, a speed so fast it is nearly unfathomable. Could these technological advances have been drawn from and inspired by alien tech? Today, the US is working on ever more advanced hypersonics, which travel above 5 times the speed of sound. The technical challenges of not only creating an object that can travel that fast without being annihilated, but also of controlling such a high-speed object are immense. At such speeds, air becomes superheated into a plasma shield around the craft, interfering with electronic communications and tracking. Now, other nations are working on hypersonic missiles for long-range deterrence, but the US is instead focusing on making hypersonic crewed aircraft, an engineering challenge so immense it is difficult to see it working. However, were the United States to have a secret weapon, alien advice on manned hypersonics, they might feel much more confident in pursuing such a project. Another potentially alien-based technology is one that is especially dangerous. From 1975 to 89, a single very specific plant in the United States began manufacturing a substance called fog bank. There is no record of who discovered fog bank, how they did so, or even what it is, leading to speculation that the secrets were traded for with aliens in exchange for who knows what. No one knows what fog bank is or how. No one knows what fog bank is, how or why it does what it does, or even what it does. All that anyone outside of its manufacturing and use knows is that it massively improves nuclear weapons. Through what? Through what mechanism? Well, that's deeply classified. What does fog bank even do to a nuclear detonation? That's also deeply classified. However, it was deemed so necessary that in 2000, when the lifespan of the old nuclear weapons was to be extended, the government decided they could not start until they could make fog bank to use in the bombs. The only trouble? No one was left who knew what fog bank was, how it was made, how it was used in nuclear bombs, or any other details surrounding it. All they knew was that it was necessary. The project was kept so secret that even the manufacturers lost any ability to remake it. It would take millions of dollars and a decade of reverse engineering before a variant of fog bank could be produced once more, allowing the nuclear warheads to be maintained and updated. It is possible that our understanding of nuclear physics is also deeply influenced by extraterrestrials. Nuclear reactors have existed since 1942, but it wouldn't be until But it wouldn't be until several years after the Roswell incident that the first nuclear reactor small enough and reliable enough to be used on a military vessel would be procured. The USS Nautilus was the first nuclear-powered submarine and heralded the beginning of the submarine golden age. But the technology required to create a nuclear reactor small enough to fit on a sub and reliable enough not to turn the crew into three-eyed fish people is immense and highly complex. Interesting, then, that every major nuclear development has seemingly come after some sort of alien encounter. In 1940, pilots over Europe reported strange lights following them, like otherworldly aircraft, and saucer crashes were reported on the mainland of the US with the debris being ferried away by the government. Just a few years later, the first reactor would be developed, and then the nuclear bombs. Roswell was just before the first nuclear sub, the Fiorentina mass sighting was a few years before the first ICBMs, and the Westfall sightings coincides almost perfectly with the development of the Minuteman III, the first ICBM to have multiple re-entry vehicles, or multiple independently targeted warheads, meaning a single missile could deploy 3 or more warheads. It's strange how closely related nuclear technology and extraterrestrial influence are, but it's not known if the aliens are the ones encouraging nuclear armament and proliferation, or if humanity has just only been asking them questions about how to destroy the planet most effectively. However, NASA has been making some truly stunning advancements in material science that boggle the mind. One is the recent investment in the concept of self-healing materials, living fabrics and construction materials that can mend themselves without human interference, using genetically modified fungi and bacteria to grow self-healing bricks and panels. This could make a massive difference for space colonization efforts, as the weight of regular building materials would be prohibitively expensive to fly out of the atmosphere. However, with this system, some cultures of bacteria and fungi would be all that's necessary. Simply set up the cultures and let them grow you your new building materials. Other projects are using the 0 Gs of space to create specialized massive liquid lenses that could be used to see even farther and more clearly into deep space than ever before. The James Webb Telescope is incredibly advanced, but this telescope would have to be built in space, given the dimensions and 0 G requirements, which would take immense infrastructure. And yet, plans are being made, which suggests a massive expansion of space-based technology may be in our near future. Alien believers say some of the biggest proof that aliens have made contact is the massive effort made to observe into space. Many satellites are Earth observation satellites, or for communications, but the United States operates several satellites and ground-based sensors that make up the Space Surveillance Network. The SSN is designed to keep track of the space-based debris and objects which orbit the Earth, including other nations' satellites, to ensure that a re-entering object isn't misinterpreted as an enemy missile. But this system does far more than just that. It gazes into deep space, keeping track of the objects out there, so we have plenty of advanced warning when something dangerous comes into view. This could be an asteroid in need of redirection, or it could be an alien diplomat's vessel, which the US wants first contact with to get first view of the new technologies, or so the conspiracy goes. There is reason to believe that many advanced systems in current development are actually the result of reverse-engineered alien tech as well. The ADS, or Active Denial System, is a functional heat ray used by the US Army for area denial and non-lethal crowd suppression. However, it has had some serious issues, mainly around not being powerful enough to have a real effect. Perhaps a case of alien tech not living up to its hype. However, tractor beams, levitation technology, and artificial intelligence has also been under development, benefiting from recent advances in superconductor technology. Technology so advanced and extreme, it seems impossible that it was invented by humans. As well, our recent seeming mastery of magnetism, using it to harness and control the first ever energy-producing fusion reactions, which may solve the energy crisis permanently. The truth is, science has progressed to the point that to the layperson, most of it seems like magic. The complexities of nuclear fusion, interspatial mycotecture, hypersonic flight, quantum dynamics, and plasma shielding are so extreme that it is beyond the general population to understand it all. Most people don't even understand how cell phones work. This can make modern advances seem impossible, like magic, when really it is the product of countless hours of dedicated work from incredibly intelligent scientists, building upon the knowledge base of decades of development in their field. Or it could be that they're getting help from aliens. Which one do you believe? Or it could be that they're getting help from aliens. Which one do you believe, and why? Let us know below, and we'll see you next time.